guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am here for another episode of Caffeinated Convos. Woo. I'm your host, Holly Hickman, and today I'm here with my friend from high school, Kelsie.
Oh my gosh, go West.
It's been, go Wolverines, go. Oh my gosh, throwback. You know what's so weird actually? You know how when you think of someone that you haven't seen in a long time, you kind of have this like very specific mental image of them in your head?
Yes.
My mental image of you is literally in maybe 7th or 8th grade when you used to curl your hair in those coils. I know you probably look back and you're like, why did I do that? But I was obsessed. And I was like, I need, yes,
oh my gosh,
back in the day,
so
I was
sweet.
like, I would literally like try and like, I was like, how do I curl my hair like Kelsie?
I had this weird wand thing. It was from China and you just like hold it. And,
and I think I asked you about it one time. I think we had a conversation about it and I was like, well, that wasn't very helpful.
Oh my god. Did you tell me it wasn't helpful?
No, I was just like,
you should have told me.
I think I went home and I tried to do what you said and it did not work out and I was like, okay,
I'm so sorry. I look back on those photos and I'm like, this was bad.
Right?
Why did I do this to my hair?
So many Facebook pictures, I'm like, who let me? I literally had side bangs that went from this side of my head.
Side bangs were a thing.
Dude, I looked like Justin Bieber. I'm not even kidding. Like with his like flippy hair, that's what I looked like, but with like long hair on the sides. It was not good for me.
My mental image of you used to do ballet, right?
Yep.
You would do stuff like that, and I remember you were always like super dance, and I think I asked you one time, like, we were talking and you told me your schedule and it was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, how does this girl do it?
I did it. I don't know how, but it happened, and you know, man, I miss those days a little bit though. I do wish I could get back into it.
Old West for a side.
But that's kind of a good transition to what we're talking about today though. Today we're going to talk about body image on this episode of Caffeinated Convos. We're talking about body image today on Caffeinated Convos. If I'm looking down, we wrote some talking points down to make sure we like didn't miss anything and stuff like that. But so I did an Instagram poll and people voted on anxiety in relationships or body image, and anxiety in relationships won by literally like 1 or 2%. So I was like, next week I'm gonna do body image since obviously still a lot of people want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And it's like a really constant and common topic, but I feel like a lot of it isn't all that helpful because it's kind of just like love yourself and that's it. There's no like, you know what I mean?
Like
there's no tools for
conversation.
Yeah, for really like accepting yourself and like, you know, learning your body and everything and learning to love it. There's nothing that really goes in depth about it. So we're gonna talk about that today. So the first kind of topic that we wanted to hit on was your body image transition, and how your image of yourself changes over the years. So like I know you have a story about that.
Yes. Okay guys, so in 8th grade that's around the time that Nicki Minaj was like a big thing. And you know, she has that hourglass shape and I was kind of just like a twig, and I thought that my legs, like my thighs, were just like weirdly skinny, and I'm like, I need to look like Nicki. So every day after school I would make so much pasta and hardcore carb load. It didn't even taste good, but I'm like, I'm gonna be Nicki one day. This is
one
gonna
day.
happen. Yep. And it never, I mean, it didn't really happen in 8th grade, but like now my legs are thicker and I'm a little sad about it because I want them
now
to
you're
be
like
smaller again. But it's funny how that changes. But honestly, I don't really focus on my legs too much. I have too many other things to worry about. So, but I just think that's weird.
Yeah, and I think every woman kind of experiences that where they look back on a picture and they're like, you know, oh, I look so good there. But back then, when you took that picture, you didn't like it. Like I know I have a couple where, you know, I was pretty lean, whether it was like just lean in general or lean for a competition. And I remember thinking, you know, back when that picture was taken, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to lose more weight. Like my abs aren't popping enough. And now I'm like, dang, I looked so good back then. Why was I not able to appreciate myself in that time? And you know, I'm probably gonna look at a picture from me now 6 months or a year from now and be like, why wasn't I appreciative more of myself then? And so it's just one of those things, you know, or like there's this one selfie of myself that I absolutely love because like my skin looks clear, my eyebrows look good, all this sort of stuff. And I remember that was actually after I had just been broken up with, and I like I was not feeling good about myself because that relationship just like was not good for my personal like self-image and everything.
Right.
And I remember taking that picture and being like, ugh, and then I posted it maybe like a year later because I was like, damn, I look good. Like my eyebrows are fleeking, like everything. So I just think it's insane how your body image transitions over time, and that kind of leads us into our second subject, which is like society and social media and how that can like take a toll and affect how we think about ourselves. You know, because there's so much online, and kind of as you know, what people think is beautiful and what is put online
and
changes.
A lot of it is fake.
Yeah,
too.
That's like how we think about ourselves, and so much, like you said, so much of it is fake. It's like not even real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like that Facetune app. People had been talking about it, and I'm like, what is this? This is so strange. So I took one of my photos, and I was like, oh, okay, I can make my eyes bigger. I can make my eyebrows do this. And it was so weird. By the end of it, I'm like, this is not my face.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable. How many other photos are floating through Instagram of people just like completely constructed, and it's just like
and it's insane because it's like that's what you compare yourself to, but you are comparing your like worst self to someone's edited like plastic surgery absolute best self, you know what I mean? So then you just think that you're so ugly, and I'm like, trust me, they are not looking like that when they wake up in the morning. Like they're looking just as raggedy as we are. And well, that's the thing too, is that you beat yourself up about it so much, and it's literally like this internal conflict over something that literally isn't real. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that would, like, it'd be the same as being mad that you don't have the body of a Disney princess, but like,
it's not
real.
Possible.
No.
At all.
No, it's not. And I think that's like a big thing, is that, so we were saying like kind of as society's like image of a good looking woman changes, our image of ourself changes. And you know, back in the day, if you were a lot skinnier, you wanted to, you know, have those thick thighs.
Be Nikki.
Yeah, and have the big
I was never
booty.
Nikki. It never happened. I'm disappointed. I'm really not, but like.
But it's the thing, and then now it's kind of like, you know, that leaner physique is kind of in right now, and it's kind of going between, you know, a really thick look, you know what I mean, like a Beyonce lady versus
like a pear shape, but still being really thin.
Yeah.
In a way, and like tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I've never been tall, so.
No, me neither.
We're
both short. Yeah.
Like the doctor always said, you're gonna grow. You're gonna get to 5'3". I never got to 5'3".
Dude, I'm at 5'2" and a quarter, and I'm like, that quarter really matters. Are you actually? Yes. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think say 5'2" and a quarter.
They told me I was gonna be like 5'4", and that never happened for me. So, but it's fine. I just need Brendan to reach everything in the top cabinets for me.
It's okay.
So one thing that's really important, and I feel like the body image conversation doesn't talk about it much, is recognizing if you do actually have an issue, and then what to do about it. And we are not licensed counselors, so this is not where you should be if you genuinely do have an issue. But I think the hardest thing right now is that it is so common for women to have such, and men too, to have such unhealthy relationships with food that we literally like almost have accepted it, and we don't do anything about it. And a lot of women and men, I don't even think, realize that they do have an issue in the first place.
Right. I think it starts little, just from counting calories and cutting out certain food items, and then it can easily manifest itself into more of an obsession. Yeah. And it can be really unhealthy.
Yeah, it can. I think the thing too is that when it does start small, it's kind of hard to see yourself do that kind of like spiral into a really bad relationship with food, just because it happens so slowly over time, but it really does become an issue. And I think the biggest thing the biggest thing you need to see and recognize in order to know if it's an issue that you should be like seeing someone or doing something about, is when the food that you consume like affects your emotional state. You know what I mean? So if you like, you know, had pizza, and say you were counting calories and the pizza didn't fit into your calories, instead of like accepting that you just gave your body a little bit more fuel today, you really like take that hard, and you're mad at yourself, and disappointed and disgusted and stuff like that. I think that's really when that is becoming an issue.
Right.
And that's when you should definitely seek help, in my opinion, because you do need help. Like, it's just one of those things, and it's not like, it's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed of. What is it? It's like 1 in 4 college age women suffer from some form of an eating disorder.
I believe it.
It's a pretty astounding statistic, so you're not alone at all if that is something that you're going through. But I think recognizing that it is an issue and then doing something about it as soon as you recognize it in yourself is the best, because if it does get down like a really bad path, it can really severely affect your health. And
right.
You know, there have been girls whose hearts have started to disintegrate, or they've become infertile because of their eating issues. And I think it's just like really important to remember that you aren't alone, and that seeking help is so important. And if you don't feel like there's anyone you can talk to or ask for help, if you are on a college campus or anything like that, remember that you most likely do have counselors and
you have resources that you can.
Yeah, there are resources. So do some research at your campus and see who you can reach out to. And then I think the other step, if you're not in that position, is like finding someone that you can talk to, and then finding someone who can help you get help, so that you're not in it alone. Because I know it can be pretty difficult to just like, you know, Google, you know, a counselor or a therapist or a nutritionist or whatever it is.
Also,
so
another
really
thing though, that I wanted to mention really fast.
Yes, please.
Freshman year, it was like a really common thing for not all of my friends, but just like a couple of my friends. They would not eat anything during the day so that they could drink more at night and like get drunk faster and like not have to worry about the calories. But that's not the same thing. Like, calories have different weights, and obviously like if you're eating, I don't know, like a banana, I don't know how many calories that is, but like 70,
I think.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like 70.
And if you take a shot of vodka and you're like, oh, that's 70 calories, you're not getting any nutrients, and your body is like going to break down, and it's not going to be a healthy thing.
Yeah, not at all.
Like, food is not a bad thing. Like you need it.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that is my biggest thing. Like, I have preached that over the past couple years, that food is not bad and no food is bad. Like, I am 100% a firm believer that you can be healthy and eat donuts, and you can be healthy and eat pizza. You can be healthy and eat pancakes. Like, you can be healthy and eat whatever the heck you want to eat. And I think that's so important, because while you do need to make sure you're getting in like micronutrients and like you're giving your body the things it needs to work properly, like, you should not feel bad because you ate one food over another food, especially like, you know, you were really craving it or something. I think it's healthy to give into cravings. Your body craves things that it needs. So if it needs a lot of carbs and you're craving pizza, it's probably because your body wants carbs, because it, you know, needs fuel for some reason or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like such a good point though, because I don't think girls really realize how destructive they're being in the moment, because like you're having fun and you're in college and you're doing your thing, but then stuff like that can get really out of hand really quickly, and it can be really not good.
Right.
So that was a really good point. But yeah, I think just getting help if you have recognized that food is affecting your emotional state and your mental state is very, very important. And then we kind of touched on this earlier, but I want to talk a little bit more about like the social construct of beauty, because that has changed so much.
Drastically, guys.
Yes, since humans started walking the earth. I'm pretty sure it was probably really sexy if you could grow thick leg hair and be warm because you were a caveman.
Yeah, because that was the advantage. That's what you needed to do.
Exactly. And then I was before this I was
so gross,
right. I know.
Had, like,
it's so funny. Oh my gosh. So I've seen a lot of women like, you know, either like stop shaving, or like a lot of women like talking about how like shaving is a social construct thing.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm low-key like, thank God they brought that up, because I love shaving. Like, if that like if that like didn't exist, like, obviously I guess I probably wouldn't care because I don't know about it, but to me, like, I love shaving. Like, I love like having like my legs be all like silky, you know what I mean? Yeah, and then like you crawl into bed after you just shaved, and like the sheets are like so soft, and you're like that's my favorite.
But if you don't like to shave, that's okay.
That's okay. That's totally your
go for it.
Yeah, your opinion, whatever.
What is that word? Ultimatum? No.
It's your choice, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so one thing we were saying before we started filming was that you know, over time, what do you call it? The standard of beauty changes.
Yes.
And back in like ancient China, which was something I was touching on, it was very sexy to be very voluminous and plump and curvy because it meant that you had money. And if you were pretty much like, if you were like obese, that was like sexy. You
are winning.
Because you had money to feed yourself.
Yeah.
If you were skinny, then you were probably starving and you're poor, and that's literally what determined beauty, was how much money you had and how that reflected in what your body looked like.
Right.
And then you were saying about like, you know, Nicki Minaj and them thick thighs, Anaconda.
yeah, exactly, and how that has changed. I also feel like the booty has been a big thing, but it used to be like,
be boobs. Boobs used to be more important.
Yes,
everyone wanted big boobs, and now everyone wants a big butt.
Yeah, and the boobs aren't as important, and people like Kendall Jenner and Gigi Hadid, like they just have tiny little boobs.
Yeah,
and that's okay. And they're like,
yeah, and I think fashion has impacted that actually a lot. You know what I mean? Because now it's like the really low cut stuff is like really in, and like bigger boobs can't like,
and sheer. And and you want to wear nothing under, and you just want to have a tiny. Is this allowed on YouTube?
I don't know, but I mean, I'll upload it.
But actually, Cardi B, I was listening to an interview. She was saying how it's not fair. Like if you have big boobs and you want to wear something high fashion and have it sheer, like it won't be as tasteful. If you have really big boobs. Because you want a little tiny nipple.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, literally. And like, it's one of those things too where like, it's more tasteful, like you were saying, if something's really low cut and you don't have big boobs because there's not as much cleavage there. And as soon as there's like, as soon as there's a line where your boobies touch, it's like, nope, that needs to be censored.
Hey,
that's
so weird.
You know what I mean? But if you have smaller boobs, you can do a plunge. That happens like 15 times a day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But if you have like a plunge literally down to here and you have smaller boobs, it's totally okay. You know what I mean? And it's not considered, you know, slutty or whatever.
Yeah.
So just remember that I think the whole point of that was just saying that you have to kind of learn to love yourself no matter what, because society's views on beauty is going to change.
Also eyebrows.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh!
It used to be like thick, tiny pencil drawn.
Literally, yes.
And now
oh my gosh!
Big.
You want big, bushy.
That works for me because I'm Italian and I have brows.
Oh my gosh, my brow hair grows so fast, so I'm cool with that.
I have to tweeze like every 2 days.
Literally same, dude. I haven't tweezed in literally weeks because I'm just at the point where I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I don't want to pay to get them waxed. So
it can be expensive. It can be pricey.
Exactly, but I think the point though is that you know you just. Like, you have to make sure that you are loving yourself for who you are and not letting society have an effect on that, because, you know, you might love your tiny boobs and then in 10 years when big boobs are the thing again, you're going
so self-conscious.
Same about my tiny boobs. We would always say you're in the itty bitty titty committee. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I had people at Vickery like say that to me, and I was like, oh my god.
I just had a flashback.
Sad.
I just had a flashback. This is so like
flashback.
Literally, okay, this is like terrible, but do you remember Boobskaball?
Yes!
Oh my god, this is literally terrible, but when we were in like middle school, maybe early high school. I could never play it. Yes! Literally, for some reason, the boys in the class were obsessed with this game, Boobskaball, where you would like throw a little piece of paper and try to get it in a girl's shirt.
I'm really sad about that.
Same, but you couldn't get it in our shirts because it was flat. There was nothing there. You couldn't get it in.
There was no, am I spilling coffee on you?
No, probably not.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. If it makes you feel any better, literally Lily threw up all over it a couple days ago, so.
Oh my gosh, I
don't
just
think
getting
that's
too
bad.
jazzed.
You're good. Dude, this couch, you can feel how uncomfortable it is. I literally don't give two shits about this couch.
Okay.
It was cheap, so. Wait, what
wow,
oh yeah, Boobskaball. And so I wanted to have big boobs so I could, you know, the boys would want to play Boobskaball.
Yeah, but it was just like, it was a thing that everyone did, and like when you're that age, you just want to fit in and not be.
And be liked.
Yeah. I was moving from a different state. I didn't know anyone, so
you came in like, what, 6th grade, 7th grade?
8th grade.
Oh, you came in 8th grade? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, someone just I just want to fit in. Like, everything was so different.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, learning to love yourself, which is our last point, is really, it's a hard thing to do. But I think, for me at least, where it really started was when I realized what my body was capable of instead of just what it looks like. I think it starts with learning about what your body can do and not just what it looks like, because now, you know, obviously I still struggle sometimes and I'm like, oh, like the pooch on my waist right now, like I hate that, or like cellulite, this, that, or the other, like typical things
Everyone
girls
has
struggle with.
Like,
Everyone has it. Yeah, it's fine.
Like,
just because you're not airbrushed in every picture in the magazines doesn't mean like, you know, that you're ugly. But now that like I'm obviously very like active in the gym and everything, and I focus more on like powerlifting and getting stronger, and now I'm like, this is so like badass, because, you know, my butt might be a little jiggly or my thighs might rub together when I walk or whatever, you know what I mean? But they're so freaking strong, and like they can win me medals in competitions, like,
yeah, that's incredible.
You know what I mean? And I think really realizing how amazing your body is, the fact that you can literally build a human inside your body, like, that's something that I think about all the time. I'm like, women's bodies are so freaking cool because you can literally formulate an entire new life just in your body.
Why don't we have more appreciation?
Right? Exactly. And I'm like, literally, I'm like, ladies, be so thankful because you have such amazing powers. Yeah. You can literally feed and sustain a child for the first, like, what, year of its life just off of your boobs. Like, that's so freaking cool. Like, God gave us such amazing gifts in our body.
Yeah.
And I wish we were just more appreciative of what it can do instead of always just what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, obviously you want pretty things in life, and you might have that gorgeous stainless steel fridge, but if it doesn't work, what's the point? You know what I mean?
All your
like,
food's gonna go bad.
Yeah, and it's just, it's the same thing, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all we have for today, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did,
I feel so caffeinated.
Right? And then we're gonna go work out on Kelsie's channel, so you have to stay tuned, and you have to go in the description bar below to see her video, because we're gonna get a little workout on, and I'm definitely going to teach her some bodybuilding poses.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited because and people really don't know much about bodybuilding if they're not in that space. So I'm so excited to teach you some bodybuilding poses.
I'm excited.
Yes. So definitely make sure that you click the like button down below and subscribe so you see more from us as well. Because I'm sure we'll do another video together. I'm like, more from us, like it's our channel, but I'm sure we'll do another video together. But yes, so definitely leave a comment down below if you have any questions or any advice for anyone struggling with body image or anything like that. And yeah, I think that's all we have. Thank you so much. Yes, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.